Hi and welcome to Vulkan from Zero to Hero. In this section, we are going to dive into 3D world. In this video, we are going to take a quick look at 3D Max. Welcome to the first video of section 4. So far, we managed to set up Vulkan, create a triangle by Vulkan API, and learn how to use Vulkan validation layers and render dock in order to debug GPU. Now we are going to dig deeper into Vulkan Programmer and focus on some advanced topics. In this section, we will learn how to render and achieve our scene by Vulkan. So first we need to learn how to export primitives of 3D scene via a 3D tools. I've chosen 3D Max. It's one of the oldest 3D tools that is still very popular among game developers. We are going to learn how to export a 3D scene from 3D Max. As a graphics programmer, I think it is crucial to know a little bit about 3D tools. So let's create a simple primitive. I'm going to start with a simple box. As I've said before, you can leave this part to be done by a professional 3D artist. But I think being familiar with the primary topics is really helpful for your future. As you can see, I've created a simple box. You can navigate the camera using Alt and middle click. Select your object and from Utilities panel, apply Reset X form on your 3D model, which pushes object rotation and scaling values onto the modifier stack, and align 3D object pivot points and bounding boxes with the world coordinate system. Please note that coordinate system of 3D Max is Z-up right-handed coordinate system. Knowing your coordinate system is very important. One big difference between OpenGL and Vulkan is that coordinate system diagram in OpenGL is left-hand NDC space, while in Vulkan it is right-hand NDC space. And depth range in OpenGL is from -1 to 1 and 0 to 1 in Vulkan. This means that the created image by Vulkan will be flipped in y-axis and face calling order will be backwards. So what we need to do is to add the following line to all vertex shaders. Or if you are using GLM math headers, you should define GLM force depth 0 to 1, which will give you the correct depth range but still leave the Y direction reversed. Okay, open menu via right click, and it's better to convert your model to editable mesh. And from modifier list, select editable mesh. And here you can edit vertices, edges, faces, and polygons of mesh. Again, open menu and select clone. From the dialog box which is opened on the screen, select instance. You can select a specific name for your instance object. Press W on keyboard to move instance object. Also, you can select move, rotate, and scale commands via toolbar. Change position of instance object. An instance object helps us to implement an advanced 3D rendering technique called instance rendering, where we can draw many instances from a single 3D object at once with a single draw call, and saves CPU to GPU bandwidth. Let's make another instance from root model and let's name it box instance 2. Move it just like our first instance, but in the opposite direction of y-axis. Okay, now we have one root 3D object with two instances. Now it's time to export our scene. From File, Export, select Export, and in the Save File dialog window, select Open Collada Actually, this is a plugin for 3D Max which enables all features of Collada format. And because we need to export all the instances, I've used this format. You can get the latest version of this plugin from here. When you request export process, an Open Collada will ask you which information should be exported. For example, because our scene does not contain any animation, we can skip this part by untick the related checkbox. Make sure to save a copy of your 3D Max somewhere for later on. Now that the 3D Max is done, it's time to write our Vulkan codes in order to render our exported scene. In the next video, we are going to create buffer for mesh class in order to draw our 3D scene.